Let me see if I have an open road here. Yes, I have. What's up YouTube, welcome back to this channel once again, and today we have a very hot motorcycle with me, which is the Ducati Multistrada 1200S. Oh man, what a motorcycle. I have ridden many bikes till now. I have ridden adventure bikes, I have ridden sports bikes, cruisers, but no bike has attracted me so much into this adventure segment. Nothing like the Multistrada. I like adventures, but this Multistrada has taken that adventure to a whole new different level. First of all, look at the looks. This is the 1200S. What a massive looking motorcycle. From the front side you can see the beak, and it's very huge. Don't think that this motorcycle is a small motorcycle looking from this point of view, because I'm actually standing on a taller area, that's why it is. Otherwise, when I stand next to the motorcycle, a guy like me 5'6" will see smaller. So first look at that huge looking motorcycle, a Ducati logo over here, and that aggressive looking lights. Actually looks like a beast. The big radiator over there, and the Ducati written over here, and the very famous L-twin engine, the 1196cc L-twin engine, which will make you addict for this kind of an engine. I thought I don't like 2 cylinders, but honestly I started liking it. So you have a huge tank over here. By the way, the Enduro has a bigger tank, but this one shares the same engine from the Enduro. And the red color is actually very attractive to this motorcycle. The chassis color, the paint color, everything. The Ducati red actually looks good. It's like the Ferrari of motorcycles. And coming over here, we can see the Multistrada 1200S written over there, and the seats. Oh boy, this one is the lowered seat version, so you can see that the seat is lowered here. So for my height, it's comfortable. Comfortable is a very understatement for this motorcycle. It's way beyond that. Even the pillion seat, this is the pillion foot peg, and you look at the distance between the pillion seat and the pillion foot peg. Comfortably keep your legs over there. And coming out of the tail section, that's where most of these guys see this motorcycle, because this is much faster than majority of the adventure motorcycle, and again majority of the sports motorcycle. And the tail section look just nice. What a sexy looking tail. And here you can see the pannier setup. So basically this is a touring motorcycle. I really don't want to call it as a touring motorcycle, because after riding this for this long, I got to know that it's a mix of many other motorcycle with an evil bit onto it. And we have the integrated indicators onto this, and totally it looks really beautiful. So let me hop on the motorcycle like the adventure way. By the way, this is a keyless motorcycle, so you don't need the physical key to turn on the motorcycle. So first what you do is just press this button, dial will come live, then open this and then fire it up. That's how it works. So it's in urban mode now. So basically this motorcycle comes with 4 riding mode. You can see that: Enduro, Urban, Touring and Sport. So in all these modes actually, the traction control, ABS, wheelie control and all these things differs. Also you can have different suspension setting on this. So it's a complete package by itself, and there are a lot of information displayed over here, like the trip time, trip meters, average fuel economy, and heat level indicator, and the fuel level indicator. The fuel level indicator is not that accurate on this. The total kilometer, your ABS settings, currently it's in 3rd. The traction control setting, the wheelie control setting, this need a wheelie control. And this is the gear position indicator, the time, the mode that you see, the current mode, and the speedometer. So if I have to walk you through the switches on the handlebar, here is the high beam and the low beam. This is caution lamp, and here is a menu switch, and this is the cruise control buttons where you can set it and reset, set, and all these things. And the indicators, horn, and on the side we have the ignition and the lock button for the keyless. When we say keyless entry, the keyless is only for the usage of this motorcycle. If you have to open the fuel tank, you have to use the key. So the module comes in and you open up the key and use it. So you might have noticed that there is a minor gap over here between the seat, because in this particular version the seat has been lowered. That's why I find it so much comfortable. So without wasting much time, let's go for a ride. Alright, let's make a move from here. This is like a pocket road kind of a thing that you generally see in small villages. I cannot call this as a pocket road. These are like the small paths used by the villages, which is parallel to the main road. As a kid, actually I wanted to ride through this road, and I used to do that with my cycle. And still it's nice to see these kind of roads in Tamil Nadu areas. Let me put this into sport mode. Long press, close the throttle. I'm in sport mode. Let's launch. Damn, that was 1 liter of adrenaline. What a power, man. Basically, this motorcycle comes with 4 riding modes. Enduro Urban, which is like around 100 bhp, and the Sport and the Touring mode, which is in 160 bhp. By the way, this motorcycle is a 2-cylinder motorcycle, the 2-cylinder L2 from Ducati, and it has monstrous torque. So the entire torque is available in the lower RPM band itself. So you'll get it instantly. It's unlike many other liter class motorcycles. So Urban is like, it's kind of manageable to use inside city, but still it heats up. That's one major issue, but it's okay. That's what I'll say. You can live with it in a city if you're having a lot of open roads. Mind it, you should have a lot of open roads, like 70% good roads and 30% traffic roads. That is fine. If it's the other way, you're gonna face the heat of the Ducati Multistrada, and enduro is when you hit the dirt. And I have tried this when I took it last time, and the 100 bhp and the torque which it provides in the lower RPM, it's like more than enough to have fun. But honestly, I feel Ducati 1200 enduro is the perfect one for enduro riding. Like off-roads, you can do anything. It comes with spoke wheels, that do bigger wheels. So altogether, that's the better package for off-roading if you're looking for that. But this one is much lighter. You'll start feeling that it's a road-based kind of a monster. I really don't want to call this as a motorcycle, because it feels like a monster in every riding mode. A couple of days back, I was touring on this highway itself, and 200, 240 is like nothing. You just get to that speed, that's all. Even you can put a cruise control on that speed and you can comfortably ride on that, even though it is highly risky to do that on our Indian road condition. But that's what I'm telling. I personally feel in the touring mode or on the sport mode, I wish to put it on the 6th gear at a speed of 140. Now we are in the 80. I know that it's nothing lower. It's somewhere in 2.5 to 3k RPM, that's all. I can honestly feel that the engine is just licking the chain to make it moving, that's all. It hasn't started pulling it hard. Everything comes after that 4k RPM. Let me see if I have an open road here. Yes, I have. Oh my. I can feel that the front is wobbling. Not because the suspension is not supporting, because the front wheel is lifting up even with the traction control. That's how monstrous torque it has. If I turn off the traction control, I'm pretty sure that this is going to pull a wheelie in no time. And when it comes to the rideability, this motorcycle actually feels like a small motorcycle. I don't know why. A couple of days I rode it in the city in the enduro mode, and I got to know that it's much easier. You don't look at the dial or you don't look at the space. Even when you look at the space, it doesn't feel like too big motorcycle like how you see from outside. So this is much lighter because the suspension is handling this motorcycle like too well. This comes with a semi-active suspension with electronic adjustment. That means the suspension actually react to the current road condition. How beautiful it is. So it is good with off-roads. It is good for track riding, that means cornering, because ample amount of feedback on the corners. I was almost riding it like a sports bike over the corners. And now I remember when I went to do my L1 L2 track license in Curry, I have seen Multistrada doing track session. Then I was wondering, there'll be something different on this bike. That's why that guy was taking his Multistrada to the track. And my doubt is completely clear now. You can take it to track. I'm not kidding you. Put a Rosso Corsa, some grippy tire, and go to the track, and the suspension will hold you like anything. That's why I told this is an amalgamation of different genre of motorcycles. And coming on to the brakes, the Brembo, that will save your ass. I'm saying that because this one accelerates so quickly. 0 to 100 is actually much faster than many other liter class sports motorcycle. So if the motorcycle can accelerate that fast, you're actually approaching static things, lane changes, jaywalkers, everything that fast. So your brake should be extremely good. And Ducati hasn't made any mistake on that. The Brembo is ultimately saving your ass. And when it comes to the riding posture, I have complete upright riding posture. With my height, even with this lower settings of the windscreen, I'm finding it very comfortable. This is kind of an slightly hotter highway today. And till now, what I can see is that this windscreen is giving me protection till my helmet. So no wind coming onto the chest. Actually, I wish to have some amount of wind to my chest because it will increase the ventilation through my jacket. So it's such a comfortable touring motorcycle. For the pillion as well, I've asked one of my friends to sit behind, and my pillion is like extremely comfortable. And when it comes to the clutch, I felt the Ducati clutches are a little onto a tighter side. I can feel that. And to the gearbox, it's pretty tight. But one problem I majorly faced is that it is very difficult to find the neutral between the first and the second gear, but it is very easy to find a neutral between the 4th and the 5th, or 5th and the 6th. That means a lot of false neutrals. I can see that. So altogether, let's see who wanted to look onto this motorcycle. As I said, it's an amalgamation of a motorcycle. If you have 70% of good roads, like open roads in your city, and 30% of traffic full roads, then you can use it as a city motorcycle in urban mode. But mind you, you have to find open roads for this motorcycle. Otherwise, this is gonna heat up a lot. And secondly, when it comes to highway, do you want to cruise at 200 or 240 kilometer? It's done. I was comfortable at 160 kilometer per hour. Sometimes I used to put it 120 in cruise control and I just cruise it aram se, that's all. Because my friends were too far behind. I have to give them some time, right? So I was putting in cruise control in 120. I was waiting for them. By the way, since this is a touring motorcycle, it doesn't mean that you have to always go to the 6th gear and ride all the time. Almost on the highway, be in the sports or the touring mode, I was riding in the 4th gear or the 5th gear. Nowadays, it's like undershifter. It's in 3K RPM. But if you want to overtake any vehicle, oh damn, that's what I told you. Saw 120, right? So 120 is the nice RPM for the 5th gear. If I wanted to shift to the 6th gear, I'd like to do it 140 or 150. So that means the cruising speed is 160, literally 160 km per hour, which is twice the legal speed of our road. So that way also it is nice. And if you want to go off-roading, put it on to the enduro mode, have some fun. I don't really say that it's a really nice off-roader. This is much lighter than the enduro version of Multistrada. You can have a lot of fun. You can play with the torque, you can have slides, but if you want to do some jumps and hardcore stuff, better to look for the enduro version of this. And if you wanted to go to track, that is also doable. And if you are someone who likes to cruise on a Harley Davidson, say you wanted to cruise on a Harley Davidson and you want to hear that tap 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 sound, go comfortably on the highway, that is also possible with this. You see, you get the tuck 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 feel and this is comfortable. So that's what this is, a mix of many other motorcycle. And when it comes to the ownership, this motorcycle was actually selling for around 22 lakhs when it was launched. Now you'll get good deals in many used bikes websites and all. And coming on to the service intervals, this motorcycle actually goes for service once in 15,000 kilometers. So obviously the first service is in 1,000, second will be in 15,000 or 16,000, and the third service is the Desmo service, which is in 30,000. So the general service will cost something like 10,000 to 15,000, and Desmo service bills are different. It can vary from 30,000 to 70,000, that's what I heard. And this motorcycle actually returns you good mileage if you are cruising on these speeds. Say you might even get 22 or 24 kilometer per liter, which is nice. But when I was riding in 160, 180 on these kind of highways, I think I was getting something like 12. I'm happy for that because it's much quicker. It's giving a lot of energy. So yes, this needs a lot of energy, so it drinks up. I cannot blame this motorcycle. So if you ask me if there are any negatives with the motorcycle, there are a few things. First thing is what I told is the false neutral things which you see with the 4th and the 5th gear, and the absence of neutral between the first and the second. I'm finding it a little difficult. And if it is too much traffic inside the city, it is little difficult to control the motorcycle because when you leave the clutch, the motorcycle actually starts jumping. And another thing is overheating. Obviously, if you are running in those kind of traffic, obviously the motorcycle will overheat. And another one thing is, if the motorcycle is not heated up well, like the first start and in the first 15 minutes, you might face some cutoffs. So I have discussed this thing with 3 Multistrada owners. They all confirmed that yes, that cutoff is there and it is natural. I thought it was some problem with the motorcycle, but no. So that's all my personal experience riding the Ducati Multistrada 1200S. I'm really happy to ride this motorcycle, and I don't really want to ride this motorcycle anymore because if I keep riding this motorcycle, I might end up buying it because I started getting a kick riding the enduro motorcycles. So it's not a good sign. If I ride more, I might switch from sports to this one. So there are a few motorcycles which gives me this kick. Sometimes I feel like yes, I should buy this motorcycle, so I'm getting a feel on this motorcycle. So it's better to return it back quickly because my friend will be mostly planning to sell this motorcycle. So when this motorcycle is in sale, probably I might look for it. So I don't want to do that. I wanted to be on the sports for some more time. Then I'll switch to enduro. So I hope this video is helpful for you and you enjoyed it as well. So as always, show some love in the form of likes and comments. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.